How to overcome the fear of speaking English. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Fluently Podcast. If you're here today, it means you're ready to face your fears, break through barriers, and finally speak English with confidence. And guess what? You are not alone. So many people struggle with the fear of speaking English, but today, we're going to change that. Let's dive into 10 powerful steps to overcome this fear and start speaking English like never before. 1. Accept that mistakes are part of the process. One of the biggest fears people have when speaking English is making mistakes. But here's the truth. Mistakes are not your enemy. They are your greatest teacher. Every time you make a mistake, you learn something new. You discover which words need improvement, which grammar rules to practice, and how to express yourself more clearly. Think about how children learn to speak. Do they speak perfectly from the beginning? No, they make mistakes all the time, but they keep trying, listening, and practicing. That's exactly how you should approach learning English. Many learners fear judgment, but most people are not focused on your mistakes. They are focused on understanding you. In fact, native speakers respect people who try to speak their language, even if it's not perfect. Imagine meeting someone who is learning your native language. Would you laugh at their mistakes? Of course not. You would probably admire their effort. So, stop aiming for perfection and start aiming for progress. The more mistakes you make, the faster you will improve. Every mistake brings you one step closer to fluency. Embrace them, learn from them, and keep speaking with confidence. 2. Change your mindset. English is a tool, not a test. Many people approach learning English as if it is an exam they must pass. They focus too much on getting everything right, memorizing complex grammar rules, and avoiding mistakes at all costs. This mindset creates fear and hesitation, making it even harder to speak fluently. But the truth is, English is not a test. It is a tool for communication. Think about why you are learning English. Is it to connect with people? To travel? To advance your career? Whatever the reason, the goal is to communicate, not to be perfect. Native speakers themselves do not always use perfect grammar, and they sometimes forget words or make mistakes. The most important thing is getting your message across. If you focus too much on correctness, you will hesitate, overthink, and miss opportunities to practice. Instead, shift your mindset to using English as much as possible, even if you make mistakes. Every conversation is a chance to improve. When you stop seeing English as a school subject and start seeing it as a practical tool, you will feel more relaxed and confident. The more you use it, the more natural it will become. Fluency is about expressing yourself, not about being perfect. 3. Speak from day one. One of the biggest mistakes language learners make is waiting until they feel ready to start speaking. They think they need to master grammar, expand their vocabulary, or reach a certain level before they can have conversations. However, this mindset only delays progress. The truth is, the only way to become comfortable speaking English is to start speaking as soon as possible. You do not need to have perfect grammar or a large vocabulary to communicate. Even with just a few basic words and phrases, you can start forming sentences and expressing simple ideas. The more you practice speaking, the faster you will improve. It is like learning to swim. You cannot just read about it. You have to get into the water. Start small. Talk to yourself in English, describe what you are doing, or repeat sentences from movies or podcasts. If you have a language partner or tutor, try speaking even if you feel nervous. The key is to get comfortable using the language in real situations. Speaking from day one helps you overcome fear, build confidence, and develop fluency faster. The sooner you start, the sooner English will become a natural part of your life. 4. Surround yourself with English. One of the most effective ways to overcome the fear of speaking English is to make the language a natural part of your daily life. The more you hear, read, and interact with English, the more comfortable you will become. Immersion is key to fluency, and you do not need to live in an English-speaking country to achieve it. Start by changing small things in your environment. Set your phone, social media, and computer to English. Listen to English music, podcasts, or audiobooks while doing daily tasks. Watch movies and TV shows with English subtitles instead of your native language. These simple adjustments will train your brain to process English naturally. Reading in English is another powerful tool. Choose books, articles, or blogs that interest you. Even reading a few pages a day can improve your vocabulary and comprehension. When you surround yourself with English, the language stops feeling foreign and starts feeling familiar. Most importantly, find ways to engage with real people. Join online communities, participate in English discussions, or talk to native speakers whenever possible. The more English becomes a part of your daily routine, the less intimidating it will feel when it is time to speak. 5. Find a speaking partner. Practicing alone is helpful, but real progress comes when you speak with others. Having a speaking partner allows you to build confidence, improve fluency, and get comfortable with real conversations. The more you interact with others in English, the less fear you will feel. A speaking partner does not have to be a native speaker. You can practice with other learners, friends, tutors, or even language exchange partners. The goal is to get used to expressing your thoughts out loud. When you regularly speak with someone, you become less afraid of making mistakes because communication becomes more natural. There are many ways to find a partner. You can join online language exchange platforms, participate in English-speaking groups, or take part in discussion forums. If you prefer in-person conversations, consider joining local language meetups or speaking clubs. At first, you might feel nervous, but the more you practice, the easier it will get. Try to speak at least a few minutes every day. Even short conversations help you gain confidence. Speaking with a partner helps you overcome hesitation, correct mistakes in a natural way, and develop the ability to think in English. 6. Focus on communication, not grammar. One of the biggest obstacles to speaking English fluently is the fear of making grammatical mistakes. Many learners hesitate because they are afraid of using the wrong tense or structure. However, focusing too much on grammar can actually slow down your progress. Fluency is about communication, not perfection. Think about how young children learn to speak. They do not start with grammar rules. Instead, they listen, repeat, and communicate with whatever words they know. Over time, their grammar improves naturally through practice. This is the same approach you should take with English. When you speak, your main goal should be to make yourself understood. Even if you make mistakes, most people will still understand you. Native speakers do not expect learners to speak perfectly. In fact, they appreciate the effort and will often help you by correcting mistakes in a friendly way. Of course, grammar is important, but it should not stop you from speaking. The more you practice, the more natural your grammar will become. Instead of worrying about every small mistake, focus on expressing your ideas clearly. Confidence in communication is far more valuable than perfect grammar. Keep speaking, and accuracy will come with time. 7. Slow down and breathe. When we're nervous or anxious, we tend to speak quickly, jumbling our words or making mistakes. It's common, especially when we're afraid of making errors. However, the key to overcoming this fear is to slow down and focus on your breath. By taking a moment to breathe deeply before speaking, you give yourself the opportunity to think clearly and organize your thoughts. Speaking too fast often leads to confusion, both for you and your listener. But speaking at a comfortable pace allows you to articulate your ideas more effectively. Native speakers don't rush when they talk. They pause to collect their thoughts, and this gives them time to pronounce their words correctly. Remember, speaking English is not a race. The more you slow down, the more you'll be able to express yourself naturally and confidently. This approach helps you avoid unnecessary pressure and allows you to feel more in control of the conversation. Additionally, when you slow down, you give your brain the space to process the language. This helps with pronunciation, grammar, and the ability to respond more fluidly. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but with practice, it will become second nature. Taking your time is a sign of confidence, not weakness. Speak at your own pace and trust that the words will come. 8. Record yourself. Recording yourself speaking English may feel awkward at first, but it is an incredibly powerful tool for improvement. Many learners avoid doing this because they feel uncomfortable hearing their own voice, but the truth is, it's one of the most effective ways to track your progress. When you listen to a recording of yourself, you get an honest, objective view of your language skills. You'll hear what your pronunciation really sounds like, the rhythm of your speech, and any areas where you might be making mistakes. Recording yourself also helps you identify patterns in your language use. Are you using certain phrases repeatedly? Are there words you have difficulty pronouncing? By paying attention to these details, you can work on specific areas that need improvement. Over time, you'll notice how much your fluency and pronunciation have improved, which will motivate you to keep going. Additionally, you can compare old recordings to newer ones to see how far you've come. It's a great way to celebrate small victories and stay motivated throughout your learning journey. Don't be afraid of hearing mistakes. It's all part of the process. With each recording, you're getting closer to sounding more natural in English. 9. Remind yourself, progress, not perfection. The fear of speaking English often stems from the desire to be perfect right away. But the truth is, perfection isn't the goal. Progress is. Every time you practice speaking, no matter how small the improvement, you're getting closer to your goal. Confidence in speaking comes from consistent effort, not from being flawless. It's important to remind yourself that language learning is a journey, not a race, and every step forward counts. When you focus on progress instead of perfection, you free yourself from the pressure of trying to speak perfectly every time. This mindset shift allows you to approach speaking English with more ease and less anxiety. For example, if you make a mistake while speaking, don't focus on it. Instead, acknowledge the mistake, learn from it, and move on. This attitude helps you stay positive and motivated. Celebrate the small wins along the way. Whether it's having a short conversation without getting stuck, learning new vocabulary, or improving your pronunciation. The more you recognize these achievements, the more encouraged you'll feel to continue practicing. Remember, language fluency doesn't happen overnight, but with persistence and patience, you will see steady progress, and that's what matters most. 10. Celebrate your success. It's easy to get caught up in the challenges of learning a new language and forget to acknowledge your achievements. But celebrating your successes, no matter how small, is an essential part of building confidence and staying motivated. Every time you make progress, whether it's holding your first conversation in English, mastering a new grammar rule, or using a new word in context, you've achieved something valuable. Don't let these moments pass unnoticed. Celebrating your success reinforces positive behavior and encourages you to keep moving forward. It reminds you that the effort you're putting into learning English is paying off. This celebration can be as simple as patting yourself on the back or sharing your achievements with a friend or family member. By recognizing these moments, you boost your self-esteem and remind yourself that you're capable of more than you think. Remember, learning a language is a long-term process, and it's crucial to acknowledge the milestones along the way. These celebrations help you stay focused on your progress rather than becoming discouraged by setbacks. The more you celebrate, the more motivated you'll feel to continue your journey. So, take a moment to recognize how far you've come and be proud of yourself. Speaking English is not about being fearless. It's about pushing forward despite the fear. The only way to truly fail is to give up. But I know you won't, because you are here, you are learning, and you are growing. Keep going, keep speaking, and one day, English will feel as natural as your own language. If this speech motivated you, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. What's your biggest fear when speaking English? Let's overcome it together.